Today we're just going to get right into it as your favorite talking head does his best to review another television show. This time I promise it's not an Apple TV show. It's actually an FX show, and it's actually an updated version of a show I really loved. It was always in my top 5, now it's in my top 10. But Justified, City Primeval, the updated version of Raylan Givens, he's back, Timothy Oliphant, and it was okay. Hi, I'm your host, Chris Humphrey, and for those of you who don't know who I am, I'm just another talking head doing my best to get my opinion out there because I think it matters to somebody somewhere. And this time it just happens to be Justified. Raylan Givens is back, City Primeval. He's in Detroit after leaving for 15 years, leaving Kentucky finally. That's why he's the only one. Nobody shows up from the past. Well, maybe a couple. But starting with my new format, I'm going to tell you why I only rated it a 7. And then we're going to go back in time as I get excited and I keep rolling in my new chair. As you can see, I'm very excited rolling in my new chair. Ooh, oh my God. But back to the task at hand. It was only a 7. It was only worth it. And it's probably because I really liked the original show that knew I was going to be kind of critical. And I thought I wasn't going to like it at all because these updated versions are good or bad, right? Frasier's next. I'll be bad mouthing that one soon. But Timothy Oliphant is always great. And Raylan Givens is back. I'm like, let's go. How's it start off? Well, he almost gets his new daughter, annoying daughter, kidnapped uh, by a white and black man. And he offers to throw the black guy into the trunk. And there we go. Now he shows up in court. And the judge is Keith David, and you guys know how much I like him because you've seen my other reviews. I love Keith David. I was like, oh, I'm gonna love this show as soon as he shows up. But that's it. Goddamn, I only get Keith David for the Franks above the beans. How the hell did you get the beans above the Franks? I only get him for a short little while, but he steals every scene because he's such a charmer. Uh, and now Raylan Givens is in Detroit. He's on a special assignment to find out who's trying to kill this judge. This asshole judge played by none other than Keith David, who is the ultimate actor's actor, superstar. What the hell has he not been in that has not been great? Exactly my point. That's why there's utter silence. He's phenomenal. And he plays his character as an asshole judge so well. But not having his cast and crew from the original show not show up often is kind of what destroys it, right? His buddy Walton Goggins is busy on was it Gemstones, Righteous Gemstones, but I get it. Get him away. Follow the books because Raylan goes to Detroit as a marshal in the books, so it makes sense. But what bogs this show down is the lack of Raylan. That's right. I'm going to say Raylan's a key part of why the original show does well, but when they focus a lot more on these bad guys that are not as well written as the original show bad guys, that's where the problem is. And don't get me wrong, there's great supporting cast, right? You got Bonnie Curtis Jr., you got Marin Ireland, uh, Norbert Leo shows up. You got a good supporting cast, um, right? Adelaide Cummins does great, and Holbrook. Like supporting cast is great. It's just I think the writing is where the problem is, and I don't know if Elmore Leonard would appreciate that the writing was not as good because his writing and dialogue was so crisp. Now, don't get me wrong, you got wisecracking Raylan Givens is always good, and Timothy Oliphant has that weird charm, right? I don't think he's good looking, but he's very charming, and that's probably what makes him great. That's what made him great in the Crazies, Deadwood, you name it. He's just got this aura around him, and he brings it uh, to it. But it's a supporting cast. It's his daughter. That's what kind of ruined, especially his first couple episodes, ruined uh, this show, and this is what knocked it down. Uh, I get the idea of making her character annoying, right? I get it, right? Tough girl, tough parents, tough life, having that kind of dad. All right, but to be that annoying and not like the books is what kind of puts it down. Seeing Raylan Givens as a dad is kind of funny. He reminds me a bit of my dad, and that's where I got some good laughs in. But it's just that was the worst part, and it's sad because it kind of mars the everything. It got better. It got better as the show went on. It was definitely a slow build, and then that season finale was okay. I don't know if this is just a one shot deal and it's done with the books, but could they continue it? Yes. Do I hope so? Well, I'm a Raylan Givens fan. I will watch it there, but it's definitely not as good as the original. Can you skip it? Yes. It's just it turned into a bit of a cop procedural, which is really not what Elmore Leonard book was and the original show was. It was a character study of criminals and cops. It wasn't a procedural. It was built tension over 10 episodes or 13 episodes or 16 depending on the season. Uh, and this one, short 10 seasons, you think it would not fall into the cop procedural formulas, and it does, and that's where some of the muddledness comes in, right? Raylan Givens is never meant to be a cop procedural. He's an asshole, and he says it right when he offers to stuff a guy in a trunk, and that's what gets him in trouble in the first place. There, but I just wanted it to be better. It I feel bad because I think I'm basing my opinion off of the original show, and it had such a high standard. I love that lonely road trying to make it home, right? Or you'll never leave Harlan alive. I really liked that show because the lines were great, and there were some good lines in this, but it just didn't feel like it was the same caliber of writing. Uh, and you could see that in some of the characters, like Miss Ireland's character, Vondi, Curtis Hall. You can see it. These actors that are great, uh, just given not a lot to work with and not a lot of good, crisp dialogue. Hell, hire me to do some of the dialogue once that strike ends, and I'll write some Raylan Givens s type dialogue that would work out better than the way it did. But I'm rambling. It's because I liked it, but not good enough. It's a good cop procedural. You do not need to watch the original show really to know who he is. You can watch this, but you're not going to appreciate it as much as I do. I love you guys. You know what I'm going to say. If I don't see you, bom dia, boa tarde, and boa noite. Producer, play my music, but not the original theme song because Fox would sue the hell out of me. Ciao.